Southgate, you're the one. You still turn me on. Football's coming. Jack, look, I don't mean to ring you. You've been drinking. Mate, I'm too busy celebrating. What do you want? This is important. We have replaced Pablo. Wait, you replaced Pablo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, he's still here, but I've got someone new, you know? Is the guy good? Can he play centre attack in mid? No, he can't play centre attack in mid. How does that work? Well, I thought you'd be a little bit happier, like, with everything going on. How can he be the Pablo? Well, tell me in the morning. Call me like after midday and we can chat, buddy.
Well, yes.
England are just a priority for you. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Have a good one. Good luck with the episode and all that.
Take care.
Yeah. No, don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't you forget that, mate.
Why have you ruined it with that?
Cheers.
Right, go to bed. Stop drinking. I need you to edit this for midday. You will have to explain if the video is late and not me. All right, buddy. Take care. Yes, folks, we've replaced Pablo. Is the guy any good? I think he is. He's got attack in his name, sort of. We'll get on to that. Run the intro, Jack. What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 27 of Park to Primera, here with Racing. Today, we are back, and editing Jack has had a bit to drink. It's quite of my own. There's not going to be any editing on today's video, and right as I thought, I'm ready to record. It's gone midnight, but we'll get it done. This pops up in my inbox. I was going to play Valencia. The game's been rained off. Transfer deadline day's coming up. I think we'll just go and play Celta. They're in 13th. It's unlucky for some. Oh dear. Only me this could happen to. Okay, folks, so welcome back to Park to Primera. We'll try this again, shall we? We're taking on Celta Vigo now. The transfer window's been open. We've actually done a little bit of business, and whilst there's still a little bit of money to spend, whether or not we spend it is still a little up in the air. We are right up against the squad registration. But before we talk about what's been going on the pitch and the current squad, let's talk about the transfers. Transfers are exciting, aren't they? And well, actually, there's been a couple of sales. I don't remember if I mentioned Jerry being sold in the end. If I didn't, he has been sold. But the big sale of note is Collins, who of course only joined us on a free transfer at the start of the year. Joined on a free, 7 appearances for us. Played okay in those 7 games, but when Leipzig came along and said, yeah, we'll give you 12.5 million and 40% of any future profit, I wasn't going to turn that down. So £12 million into the bank, and with that, I felt like I had a bit of permission to spend some money. And spend some money we most certainly have. And well, another reason I was willing to let Collins go was because Vélez, of course, was joining us. The young Colombian centre-back, we'd already agreed to have him join us. He looks phenomenal at 18 years old, a bright spark for the future. Already played a few games for us, early days, so we won't review his performances too harshly. Maybe, just maybe, you'd expect a slightly better average rating, though, across the first 5 games. But as I mentioned, he's not the only player we've signed, because Jose Marsa, who of course we had on loan for the first half of the year, I decided to sign him permanently. He was available for £4 million, and whilst, you know what, his first 17 games at the club haven't been all that inspiring, for £4 million, we're locking down a top-quality Spanish fullback, and most importantly of all, he's the kind of player who we have the option, I think, to possibly sell for future down the line. Only 21 years old, a developing player since he's signed permanently. He got his first assist. He's got off the mark. He's looked rather impressive. And well, now we come on to the final player. £15.75 million paid. I'm calling this guy the Pablo Torre replacement, even if he doesn't play the same position. You'll see why in a second. Here we have Dejan Attanakovic. I am going to be giving him a nickname, and the name is Dejan Attanakovic, because attacking is what he's going to do for us, I hope. You can see here, 18 years old, signed from Red Star Belgrade for 15.75 million. Yeah, that's not a small sum of money, but he's been playing very, very well. You can see first half of the season in Serbia, he was tearing it up. He got a goal on his debut, and I don't know about you, but at 18 years old, he looks top quality. However, I don't think he's ever going to play as a striker for us. I mean, he might play some games there over time, but I'm thinking for him, really, You are the Pablo Torre replacement. You are the man who, when Pablo Torre leaves, or even now, while Pablo Torre's still here, you can probably still slot in and be a very, very good advanced playmaker on attack for us. You can see here, 18 passing, 18 technique. Good vision at 16 is not too shabby at all. Great teamwork, flair. Physicals need some work. As a result, we're currently training him as a shadow striker, just to give all those physicals some TLC. But he's a really interesting player, is Dejan here, because he is naturally a striker, but you could very easily play him as a top-quality deep-line playmaker. And just as a reminder, he's 18! Yeah, he's nuts, and I think he's a really good buy. He is a club record transfer. We sanctioned that, worth noting. Still just shy of £12 million in the bank, and a lot of wage budget as well. In fact, so much wage budget, I could slide it into the transfer budget and still have a pretty penny left to spend. There are a few other players that have agreed to join us in principle. We've got some players that we're looking to loan out, including Ivan, the Portuguese centre-back of last year. There's been a few players who we brought in last year I thought would be great hot prospects. Thought they'd get game time. With the unexpected promotion, that really hasn't materialised, so loaning them out makes sense. So he's on his way out. Pablo Martinez, kind of want to sell. Can't fit him into the squad with the current registration rules. And, well, in terms of transfers on the in that are happening, we have two. We have Cambuala. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. He joins us at the end of his contract from Manchester United. And the other player joining us from Manchester United is Javi Parado, who is a Spanish forward. No caps at all, but was signed by Man United. I don't know why Man United signed him. They signed him in 2021-22 for 4.5 million. He played 8 matches. He's not played in the last 2.5 years, but 25 years old, Spanish player, super versatile in positions. And, well, when you compare him to Mexica, he's probably an upgrade. I do have the option to buy him now for £1 million. I may well do that, but the squad registration is a bit of a scenario. You may notice there are a couple of spots free, and the reason there are spots free is because Morgan Gibbs-White has been recalled. Yeah, that loan spell didn't last too long, did it? I'm trying to remember when we agreed to sign him. Here it is. Loan from Wolves. Was using up one of our non-EU player spots because of Brexit. Let's be honest, he didn't really shine for us. I can see why they've recalled him. I've not played him as much as perhaps I thought I might. But ultimately, it's not a player who I think we're going to miss too much. Anyway, let's talk about the games since you were last here, and let's just hide the friendlies, because we've had that winter break that always happens in Spain. And while in terms of how things have gone, bit of a mixed bag, really. We started off with a couple of really emphatic wins to end December. 2 6-0 wins in a row. The first against Nastic was nice, but the big one was against Real Valladolid. 6-0 in the league is always pretty, isn't it? You can see here, Bicho got a hat-trick. No, he didn't. He got 2 goals. Mexica got a hat-trick. A flurry of goals right before half-time was bizarre to see. Also nice to see Avramides getting in on the score sheet. And whilst he was having a pretty rough run of form, he has stepped up in his last few games. 4 goals in his last 5 for the 18-year-old. He's slowly finding his shooting boots. And yeah, he looked pretty threatening in this game here. As you can see, following on from the January break, we beat Elche. We then beat Segovia in the Copa del Rey. Unfortunately, as you may have noticed, we are no longer in the Copa del Rey, and that's because in our last 2 games, 2 defeats, the first of which came in the Liga here against Real Sociedad. And in this game, Attanakovic did score for us. Let's savour the fact that Attanakovic scored. Attanakovic by name, Attanakovic by nature. Yeah, this is the only really thing we have to sing and dance about since the kind of turn of the year. It was a nice finish by him, to be fair. A little bit of pressure on his debut to score when you get in a one-on-one like that. He held his nerve. Sadly, we didn't win. And well, we didn't win in the Copa del Rey either. We're against Granada, who are also a La Liga team. A La Liga team, though, that we should be beating. We lost. We mounted an attempt at a late comeback, but it wasn't enough. And with that, the Copa del Rey dream is dead. I didn't reach the 4th round. The board, they're not 100% happy. The good news is the league looks pretty good still. Of course, we've only played a handful of games since you were last here, but with it being a busy month of January, it felt like a good time to come back. Originally, we were going to be taking on Valencia in 5th. That got thrown out the window, didn't it? So, yeah, Celta Vigo in 11th. A game that I think we go into expecting to win, even if we are away from home. And as we have, just got past the halfway mark, as we have a game in hand and are in 4th, I'm looking at the European football spot thinking Europa League this season would be really, really nice if indeed we can make it happen. there is still a long, long way to go for that to be a remote possibility. But anyway, let's talk about the team for today's game, shall we? And in terms of team selection, I'm going to be honest, I put in Martinez because he's been developing so much, but given just how well Avramidis has played as of late, I think I've got to go with Avramidis. I think I have to go with Avramidis. He has put in better performances when we've played him as a striker, though. But the Mexica's been really good as well. And Bicho of all players, he won La Liga's Player of the Month in December, because of course he did. So I feel like he has to play as well. You know what? Let's bring in Ferry. Let's move Blanco to ball-winning midfielder. Onana and Velez are going to play alongside each other. And then, I mean, Attanakovic should probably start over Mexica up front. But, as we've already talked about, I do see him as the centre attacking mid option. And Mexica has 4 goals in his last 5. You know what? We'll have Attanakovic, Avramidis on the bench, I think, as options. Gabels is slowly coming back from injury. He is not fit, though, for this game. So let's get in Hardy there. Elsewhere, we've still got Puig. I need to keep him happy and Barcelona happy so they don't recall him, because at the start of the year we had Morgan Gibbs-White, Puig and Pablo. I guess with Morgan Gibbs-White flocking the nest now and returning back to Wolves, we don't want to lose Ricky to a similar fate. That said, I didn't kind of promise any kind of grand footballing expectations with Barcelona. They aren't expecting him to play every game. In fact, I think I told them he was going to be a backup, and they were perfectly fine with that. But either way, let's get into today's episode. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you've seen the intro for today's episode. That was recorded whilst a little drunker than I am now, but it is very late at night. Sadly, editing is not an option, so I'm going to do a one-take wonder today. So far, so good. I've cursed it now. There's going to be something in the match that I have to edit out where I balls up my talking. But no, hopefully the players are going to do the business. I'm going to do the business. And we're just going to have a big old party. We are up in 4th. There is a big, big gap between ourselves and the big 3. And, well, further behind us. It's very, very competitive for the top spots. But we now have a game in hand, albeit against Valencia. So a win here against Celta Vigo could put us in a super good position. Away from home, though, this will be a really, really big test for us. Worth noting they're playing their 4-2-3-1. We're still playing the 4-2-3-1 that we kind of started the season with. Little tweaks here and there have happened. But for the most part, it's very much how we started things. It's a formation that suits us well. We, of course, switched to it at the end of last season for the playoff run. Served us well there, and it's continued to serve us well. As well, we are on the offensive. Bicho to Pablo. Back to goal. Couldn't get it away. Veyes, though. I guess it's Veyes. Answers on a postcard, the new Colombian centre-back. He's won the ball there in the air, though, and now it's Juardo bringing it forward. A player who I'd love to sign permanently from United, along with all the other players we're stealing away from Manchester United, it seems like. Right now, though, they're asking for £100 million. I have also noticed Marsa is on a booking. Oh, my word, that is a ball. That is nearly a really good finish. It wasn't offside either. I was hoping the flag was going to go up and I'd be less annoyed about that miss. Pablo playing through Mexica just smashes it at the post. Early signs, though, pretty promising here. Of course, we're coming into this game off the back of 2 defeats. 1 in the league, 1 in the cup. Want to get things back to winning ways. So far in this game, we've not been able to find a breakthrough. Neither have they. But 40 minutes gone here. I'm going to say we've been the better team. And we now have a corner as Pablo whips it in. It bounces in the penalty area, which is inexcusable. Juardo's going to win it, though. Can he bring it forward, the right back? Gives it to Bicho, who dinks it to Martinez. Plays it back wide. Really nice build-up play here. Martinez, who came for our academy. What can he do? Juardo. Pablo sweeps it into the bottom corner. Oh, well, I've talked about the fact I've maybe replaced Pablo until Attanakovic. It will get in my head eventually. It's Attanakovic Jack. Until Attanakovic learns to play centre attacking mid, Pablo's still the man. We've still got him on loan for another year and a half. And whilst he's here, and whilst he's doing stuff like that, I think we have to keep our reliance on him. He gives us a crucial goal right before half-time, and you would anticipate that to give us a nose in ahead as we go in at the break. 1-0. I am delighted. More of the same, please. Mexica's not had a great game. Martinez is tired as well, so you know what? Early double change. Mexica off, Avramidis on alongside Attanakovic. Martinez is also going to make way. Avramidis, probably a player who you'd want to play down the middle, ideally, but Attanakovic scored on his debut. He looked very good in the striking position when we played him there. He is naturally a striker. long term, definitely the advanced playmaker in our system. But for now, this is where he's going to play. This is where we're going to try and give him minutes. It's one of the reasons why the kind of Spanish forward who we have agreed to sign from Manchester United, I'm leaning towards not signing him for $1 million, because whilst I think he will be useful next year when he joins us, the 25-year-old, ultimately this year, him joining us might just throw us completely out of whack, because we have Gabels, Mahika, Attanakovic, Avramides as well, all competing for that striking spot. And, well, oh my word, Avramides, that was a confident effort. Whistles just wide of the post. Speaking of the devil, I thought he was going to get on the score sheet there, Avramides. As I said, he's looked a lot sharper as of late, although some of those goals and some of those good performances have come as a striker for us. Anticipate that he will be involved in the club for the foreseeable future, season on season. You know, players like Attanakovic, I suppose, to an extent, Avramides. These are the kind of players that we're bringing in now who I'm desperately hoping are going to be Champions League winners in a few years. Probably not, but I mean, Attanakovic, show us what you're made of. His finishing isn't great, but he's very nearly dinked the keeper. You have to respect the audacity of that effort. I think he has 11 or 12 finishing, but he still knows how to chip the ball because it's FM21. Ball whipped in, Valles can't get there, and Avramides was offside. I mean, it's still only a 1-goal game. We need to make more of these chances. And it's Pablo to whip in. Valles is there. And the young Colombian very nearly had his first ever goal for the club. He has got something like 17 jumping reach. Unfortunately, he's got 11 heading. So he's going to get his noggin on stuff. Whether or not he can direct it, slightly different task. Blanco switches it over to Ferry. 1 centimetre to the other, looking to, stretch this pitch wide, move the ball quickly from one side to the other. Huardo has loads of space on Ferry's right. He's going to get picked out. So much time for the cross. So many players in the middle. Instead, gives it to Ferry. Now with Avramides. Back with Ferry. Falls to Pablo. And that should have been another goal. The ball was knocked around superbly. Great play to carve them open. Get into the box. Unfortunately, the finish was lacking. Well, can we find Velez's head? We can. This might turn into a trend. Velez gets his head on it, but it never goes near the goal. It's still 1-0. It's still 1-0. We need a goal here. Avramides is going to get it forward to Attanakovic. Of course, he is a more creative forward. We are playing him as an advanced forward just because I think that suits the players around us best. Although, Bicho, you must be off. There's no way he's onside there. It wasn't even close. But yeah, Attanakovic is a very creative forward. He's not got the best finishing, but with, I think, 18 passing, 17 or 16 vision, he's the kind of striker who's going to allow our super talented players in and around him to thrive. Now, whether or not that's going to work particularly well with Pablo, that is something that we're going to discover. Of course, Attanakovic, he joined us like a week ago. He's still finding his feet. But he's definitely a player we want to give regular minutes to. 1 minute left in this game. Let's take off Blanco for Fernandez just to kill off this game. It's not particularly pretty, but much like the second game of yesterday's episode against Leganés, just a really, really good 1-0 win. Never really looked like conceding. Dominated the game really well. The whole backline did well. Anana quickly getting to grips with his new life as a centre-back where we've been playing him. 16 games he's played there. He's actually putting his best performances in that position as well. And, I don't know. I'm feeling very, very good. Wins like this, whilst, it's not against the team in and around us. These are the games that are going to ensure that we are in and around the European spots come the end of the year. It's not particularly pretty. It's a game we dominated. They didn't really create anything. Of course, we have still got this game in hand, albeit against Valencia, which if we win, I might start to get a little carried away. If we lose it, suddenly the likes of Levante, Villarreal and Valladolid, I suppose to an extent, all look like they could very much be in it to win it and in it to leapfrog us. But you know what? It's a big win. It's a win that we needed. It gives us some momentum. There's a Paraguayan regen who's just popped up here. Who are you? He's very disappointing. Now you can see here. I've got my scouts out in the field. They're looking for young regens. Who's this guy? Cisse. He's not very good either. Who are the good players you found me? Another Colombian maybe? I've got 3 days left of the transfer window. I'm probably going to find someone to spend some money on. Wait. He's available for free? No. Oh, no, he is. His contract expires in 6 months. I was going to say, the only thing that can make him better is if he had some kind of European nationality. I mean, am I crazy, or does he look like a really good fullback? Apparently he's a centre-back. He is not tall enough to be a centre-back. I'm looking at that work rate, that teamwork, and that stamina thinking, you, sir could be a really, really good wing-back. He's 18. Who's bid on him? Leon. Right, we're going in. We're going in. Huardo's only in on loan from Manchester United. Oh, how much am I willing to pay? Like 12,000? 12.5? Is 12.5 too much? I need to make a more attractive offer than Leon, which is not going to be easy. Am I getting carried away? Is it too late? I'm looking at the clock and it's nearly 2 a.m. No, I'm doing this. You can't stop me. I've got money to spend. He wants 13. If you want 13, how about 15? I'm going to hit continue once just to see if he says yes immediately. He's probably not going to say yes, and we'll leave it as another cliffhanger. But of course, South Americans pick up EU nationality in terms of the registration rules in 2 years. Have I got carried away? Is this guy as good as I think he is? I have noticed he's got mercenary personality, but he's 18. He looks really good. I shouldn't buy anyone while I'm drunk. Right, save the game. End the episode here, gang. Thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Slightly more casual, a bit of a throwback vibe, I guess, to the days where we didn't cut down matches, didn't cut out the fluff in between. If you enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on it. Maybe we'll throw in these episodes every so often where they're a little bit more rambly for old time's sake. I really want Jose Torres, but I'm going to stop playing the game here. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Take care. Thank you for watching. Until next time, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.